I'm excited about what we're going to talk about. Go ahead and let me know if you're here. You should be coming through the door right now. We are officially live. And this is all about how to live stream like a hero. Who wants to be a hero today, and live stream like Superman or an X-Man or some other variation of some sweet superhero, just your favorite superhero of any kind. You know, that's who I want you to think of, because that's really who we're going to kind of picture in our minds when we do this. So very first thing I want you to do is, if you are here, we're going to let some people come through the door. But if you were here right now, go ahead and put your name and or rather, sorry, you probably have your name and email already populated below. What I'd like you to do is simply answer the question that we have posed here, which is, welcome to the event. Please let me know if you have failed or walked away embarrassed after doing a live stream event. I would love to know your experience with live streaming. Have you ever gone through anything like that? I know personally I have, for sure, and I just want to know if you have as well. So again, let me know. Have you ever just biffed it? You were doing a live stream and suddenly things went awry? Did you ever have that? Have you had that experience? Let me know if you have. Yep. So let me know if you have had that experience occur to you. Just put it in the chat box below if you have had just not a good thing occur while you were doing your event. Something went wrong, okay? Some part of that event went wrong. So yeah, put that in the chat box and let me know, okay? So Bob is saying, yes, I can hear you, Casey, and great. So Bob, yeah, of course. And again, as I said, let me know, have you ever gone through a terrible experience with doing an online event yourself, just where you either froze up, or the technology just crashed on you, or if you for some reason couldn't convey your message appropriately? Have you ever had that happen? I mean, I have. I feel like we all have, right? So it's common, and that's what this event's going to be about. It's about kind of hedging against those issues, those painful issues that we all seem to experience, okay? We all seem to kind of go through, all right? So, yeah, as I said, go ahead and put that in there. Yep, you shouldn't be able to see me. You should see my screen. Do you guys see my screen? You should be able to see a screen that says live stream like a hero. Anybody? Everybody? You know what I'm doing today, which is a little bit different than what I usually do, is I'll probably not put myself on camera. I might put myself on camera. I look fine. That's not, I'm not coming at that from vanity. It's just, I took a shower and everything is okay. So, but I think what I'm going to do a little bit differently is here, stick to my slides, okay? But so you should see that, right? Okay. As David says, haven't failed or walked away with my head hanging low in a live stream event yet, perhaps because I haven't held one yet. Right, David, I hear you. A lot of times we just won't do it, right? That's the thing. We just won't do it. And I think that it makes sense. I mean, hey, here's the deal. For the longest time, I didn't want to write a book, or I thought it was really difficult to get a bestseller in Amazon, Well, I learned that it's not necessarily the case. It took me about 14 days to do that, right? Kind of write the book and then get it up there. And, I was just sitting on it. It's just one of those things. You kind of sit on it and you're like, oh, I really want to do it. Well, I just said to myself, let's do it, Casey. Let's push on and let's get this done. So, as I said, we are going to have an awesome kick-butt experience today. I'll try to make it as fast as I possibly can. I'm streaming into one of my computers and watching from the other computer. So if there are any problems at all, go ahead and put it in the chat box if you have any issues, and then it will populate, and I'll be able to see it once they come through. So we're going to be talking about how to live stream like a hero, okay? And the whole reason we're going to be talking about how to live stream like a hero is to avoid this. You've seen this, right? What does this look like to you? Well, this is what we all seem to experience occasionally when we are faced with new technology and having to deliver our message live in real time. I mean, you know, it suddenly becomes really daunting to us to say, oh my gosh, there's a lot of people watching. What do I do? And what do we do? What's the tendency? We freeze up. We freeze up, and this is exactly what we start looking like. So the idea behind this is that we are going to avoid this, the deer in the headlight syndrome, from the technology, but also we're going to really dive into more of the concept of what you need to do when you're live streaming. Okay? Not just the technology, but the technology is a huge factor. It's more so what you should do to make sure that you have the vibrancy in your event and it doesn't taper off because you're consumed with X, Y, and Z. Okay? You need to be able to just push forward. And part of that, I remember I've told you guys this before, part of knowing how to do that is setting what? Put this in the comment box, in the chat box. What do you need to set early on in your event to your those who are at your event, the people that are attending, what do they need to know early on? What do you need to set right away? Man, maybe I should give like a free gift if you guys get this right. Who wants like a I think I may have these like a card. I have like an ads like a Google AdWords card. I think I have a Google AdWords card. If you can get this right, I'll give you a Google AdWords card. What do you want to set up right away for the people that are coming to your event so you don't end up like this guy, Rudolph. Well, this is a deer, but this is, you know, could a reindeer could also be. What would you have to do? Go ahead and put that in the chat box and let me know. And while we're doing that, I'm looking back and I see that David said, had a dream, it is going to go wrong, CZ. So David's saying he has this fear because it's been built up in his mind, and he's still kind of dealing with it. Let's see, who else has said something? Dean has said, are you not on camera for bandwidth reasons, which would affect the quality? Not at all, Dean. I can show I can show myself on screen. In fact, I will if you're concerned about or wondering about the bandwidth. In fact, my bandwidth is really great, and that's what we're going to talk. That is one of the topics we're going to talk about: how to do that yourself. Okay, but check it out. I can just do it this way if I wanted to. Right? You see the power of that? Bob says no, never had the courage. David said, yep, see the screen. Oh, boom, David. David is a winner. David just said expectations. That's exactly right, David. You want to set up what? Expectations and what they're supposed to anticipate in the event. So right away in the event, you're going to want to say stuff like, hey, by the way, we're using a different technology. This is completely live, and anything can happen when we're at a live event. The sky can fall, the dog could come into the room and tear apart the computer. Aliens could suck me into the void of space while we're doing this. So just be aware that something can happen, and it's not my intention that it does happen. If it does happen, go ahead and refresh this page because you'll be able to come back into this event. That's setting up expectation, and boom, David, I have to give you something, man. I have to give you something. So let me brainstorm, okay, buddy? Let me brainstorm what that might be. All right, let's push on because I have a lot of awesome content. You guys are going to want to take a heck of a lot of notes, and even, let's say, for those of you who have screen share software on your computer, you might want to record this. I will, for the first time in my life, say something like that. You can screen share. You start sharing. You can use your video editing software like ScreenFlow or Camtasia to capture the screen and record and have this later. Okay, it's good stuff. Okay, now, as I already asked, have you ever done a live event? What was your experience? How many of you guys have done live events and they just gone terribly wrong? Put that in the chat box. Yeah, put that in the chat box. Yes, David. Setting expectations. Seb got it right too. Tim got it right as well. Intention. Dean got it right. David got it right. A clear agenda. Perfect. Yeah, these are all wonderful, wonderful, wonderful things that you need to set up right away. So again, as I said, what was your experience? Deer in the headlight? Let me know. Have you ever said to yourself, yeah, I got this, or I know my presentation, or yeah, I know my topic. I'm going to be fine. I'll be fine. Don't worry about me. I got this. Have you ever said that to yourself? Well, I've had customers and clients of mine, of course, because my name is Casey, and if you don't know who I am, I'm the founder of Easy Webinar. I'm now a best-selling author on Amazon for Build Your Audience with live video, and I have had clients and customers who I have tried to help who have jumped straight in without a parachute and have started to do this stuff and fell on their face because their presentation wasn't ready, and they didn't understand the technology. And they didn't understand how to use the technology and not wait for a dead silent moment. Because you guys know me by now, I don't wait for questions to come in, and that's a big factor because you might have the question and you might be saying to yourself, Casey, what about that big 30-second delay or 1-minute delay that Google Hangouts and YouTube has, blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? We're going to cover that. That's going to be a big factor, and I'm going to show you what you can avoid and how it is not even an issue, okay? Not even an issue as long as you train your mindset and do things the right way. So first, a word about being prepared. And I'm not yelling at you. I'm not. Promise. I promise. I love you, and this is why I'm talking like this, heatedly or excitedly. 3 words. Not just 1 word. Practice, practice, practice. You guys have heard that before. We all know that, but some people don't do it. And that can cause an issue. It can cause an issue with how you communicate your message. It can cause an issue with sales that you are trying to achieve. It can cause many, many different issues, and you all know that. So if there's one thing I can say, it's practice, practice, practice. And I'm not just talking about content, okay? Because, yeah, you might be a content expert, but you might not know how to deliver it unless you practice. But maybe it goes even deeper than that. Maybe it does. So let's think about this. What's our biggest fear when we're doing online live events? Okay? What's our biggest fear? What's your biggest fear? What do you think? Go ahead and put that in the chat. What's your biggest fear? Well, here it is. We don't want to look stupid, right? Who wants to look stupid when we're doing our events? That's the last thing we want to look like, right? And this is the whole reason for practicing and practicing and practicing until we avoid looking as stupid, until we can avoid as much as possible. Because again, here's the deal. You can't control everything in life. You can control quite a bit, but you just can't control everything. The idea is that we just don't want to look stupid, right? And yes, part of this event is me saying, guys, be prepared, okay? I know I'm a little lectury right now, but I swear I won't be for the rest of the time. But because we don't want to look stupid, right? That's the whole idea, is that we want to avoid looking stupid. But let me ask you this. Maybe this goes a little bit deeper. Are you afraid of the camera? How many of you are afraid of the camera? How many are afraid and terrified when you turn on that camera that it's almost like someone with a gun is staring down at you, okay? Are you afraid of the camera that much? Because some people are. Some people are definitely afraid of speaking in public, and they almost are worse when it comes to the camera. Is that you? Let me know. So what I want to do right now is talk about 4 common stigmas that seem to cripple us when getting in front of the camera, because this might be you. If it's not you, congratulations. You are someone who is already on the right track, but just realize that some of these things might relate to you. Maybe you don't realize that you have a little fear of getting in front of the camera, okay? Some of you have not done these, so possibly and potentially you do fear getting in front of the camera. And I love that you guys are all very active. We have such an active community right now answering questions. Ed's done a lot of different events. Seb, setting expectations, yes. Well, I'm practicing with 0 attendees until I'm completely comfortable with the technology. Wonderful, Pete Gregory, wonderful. Following my script or workflow, terrific, terrific. That's what Bob said, and Ed, of course, said technology problems. That's That's the kind of the biggest fear, the biggest factor, the biggest issues, right? But there could be something more about when it relates to fear of getting in front of the camera, which is potential for some of you. So let's talk about stigma number one, the show/Hollywood stigma. What if they don't believe me? What if I get millions of people watching? How do I keep them all engaged? I'm not Seinfeld or the Vampire Diaries. So what does this mean? This is essentially you afraid of success. Afraid of failure, yes, but more so, I think, afraid of success. Because yes, first off, what if they don't believe me? That really pertains to you not believing in yourself. Yes, you might be a content expert, but you just might not have that full and utter conviction. Have you ever experienced that? Go ahead and put that in the chat box. Have you ever experienced not being fully convicted, had full conviction about what your expertise was? Have you ever had that? I've had it. I've had it several times. Either people say I'm too old, or I'm too young, or I have a spelling error here, or I haven't done this, I haven't done that. Every day you will be challenged by your expertise. Every single day you will be challenged by it. And it's your stern conviction that keeps you around. It's your stern conviction in yourself that will make sure that you succeed. Okay? Now, maybe if a little fake it till you make it, but here's the thing. Once you've made it, don't think you're still faking it. That's what a lot of people do. They think they're faking it till they're making it when they've already made it, and they still have that mentality of faking it till they make it. No, you're already there. Just imagine yourself already there, okay? So what is the secret to avoiding the Hollywood stigma? Well, this is what I think. The way that you can avoid having a problem with getting in front of the camera is find and rely on the intimacy of your surroundings. Just you, your camera, and visualize speaking to one person. That's what I do. Because here's the thing, it's a little different. You know, it's speaking to 60, 70, 100, 200, 300 people online is different than speaking on stage to them. It is a little different because you don't have so much of that fear. You are separate to a degree. But at the same time, now you're faced with having to know this level of technology, right? And now they don't see you face to face. They can't shake your hand. So now there's that factor too. How do you get more personal with your audience, especially when it's online, right? Well, this is what I do, and this is what I tend to suggest out to people is that you get very comfortable with your surroundings. Like I keep in my office, and I just speak right to the camera, and I try to visualize one person. Who does that? Go ahead and put that in the chat. Do you do that? Do you ever do that just with one person? Is that what you do? Yeah? But who? That's the question, right? Who do we visualize? Who's that person? And experts have said, make it someone like a spouse or a loved one. Well, here's the deal. I say no to that concept. And do you agree? And do you know why? Go ahead and put that in the chat box. Why would I say no to this concept of a loved one of mine? Well, the reason is because my family have a preconceived notion of what I do and who I am, right? And if I'm positioning myself as an expert that they are not necessarily always a part of my business and don't necessarily see me as that, visualizing like my mother won't work because my mother or my father might come across as, Casey, you really don't know what you're talking about, or I don't know if I believe what you're saying, right? Have you ever experienced that? Maybe a family member who just didn't trust what your expertise was because they've known you since birth. They wiped your butt, or they seen you, do terrible at math or X, Y, and Z, and there's a preconceived notion to that, right? So what I say is create a figment of your ideal customer, someone who unconditionally respects you no matter what, and someone who is someone you have proven your expertise to, okay? They already see you as the expert. That's what I want you to visualize. Someone eager to learn from you without bias, preconception, or judgment. Now, I know this sounds like I had a terrible childhood. I didn't. I had a wonderful childhood. I have a wonderful marriage. I'm just saying that there are notions of this when we are doing something that is in line with our passions, and I'm hoping that that's you. I hope you are doing something in line with your passion because it flies in the face of much of what society has taught us about work and about working hard. And some of our family members could still be in that mentality, and it's nothing against them, and we love them, but they might not be the right person to picture when we're doing and putting ourselves in front of the camera and talking to our customer or our client or our audience, okay? And this might be something obvious to you. I hope I'm not saying the obvious. Am I saying the obvious? Let me know. Am I being obvious about this? Stigma number 2. I can't stand the sound of my own voice and what I look like on camera. Is this something you've experienced? Here's the solution to that. Repetition and practice, and force yourself to watch your videos back. This is what I always say. I mean, I hate the sound of my voice. It goes high and lilty, and it's all nasally. But I had to adapt and learn to actually be okay with the way I sound and the way I look on video, so that I can push forward and just be on it and action based. So watch yourself over and over again, even if you get sick of watching yourself. Keep watching, because eventually you won't. It won't bother you anymore. You'll get used to hearing yourself. And here's stigma number 3. I'm not good enough, so I'm going to copy and paste someone else's style. Okay, now that might be a little controversial, because please note, I'm not saying that this is wrong to find inspiration in others, to say, hey, I really love what Tony Robbins is doing. I'm going to, be like Tony Robbins. Well, you can't be like Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins is Tony Robbins. But what you can do is you can be the perfect you, because you're never going to be able to do a perfect impression of anybody else except yourself. It's all about authenticity. And these are 2 key factors in communicating your message to your audience and connecting on a deeper level. Authenticity, okay, not false or copied, but genuine, real, truthful, and accurate. You, the authentic you, okay, and one other factor, okay, it's authenticity, but then there's another factor which we're going to talk about in a second here. So practice being the best you can possibly be, the energetic you, the excitable you, the expert you, okay, right? Cool? Again, is this obvious? Stigma 4, don't show your imperfections or weaknesses. Bah, wrong. If you never showed your imperfection or weakness, you would be someone who never got out and never failed. And if you never fail, you're never going to succeed. So you have to show your weakness, right? You have to. Sometimes you're going to have bad days, sometimes you're going to have good days, right, Ed? I know you're on here. Right? You're imperfect. You're beautiful and imperfect. Your weakness is based, this is the thing. Your weakness, your perceived, the perception of your weakness is based on somebody else's counter-perception of strength, okay? It's their counter-perception of strength, okay? It's what someone else thinks is supposed to be strong, and you're not that, okay? Based on what they went through in their life, what their parents told them, what society told them. I'm bad at math. Is that a weakness? Is being bad at math a weakness? Go ahead and let me know. Is this bad for me? Is it? Well, I'm not attracting an audience who perceives my weakness as a conflict to my expertise. Who am I trying? Am I a mathematician? If I was a mathematician and my weakness was math, absolutely it wouldn't work, right? So your weakness is not a weakness. Your imperfections are wonderful. If you have a stutter, there's nothing wrong with that. Why would you try to hide a stutter, or why would you try to hide, if you had a certain personality quirk because you're worried about it because someone said to you sometime in your past that it wasn't right? So again, it's okay to be imperfect. I don't think we have weaknesses. I think we have character traits, we have good days, we have bad days, but we don't have weakness. So embrace this concept. You have an audience no matter what. And there's always going to be people with more knowledge than you, and then people with less knowledge than you. And guess what? Those people with more knowledge are not your audience. Okay? They're not your audience. So the key to confidence and authority is authenticity and empathy. The capacity to recognize emotions that are being experienced by others. Because if you don't have empathy in what you are portraying to your audience, then you are not going to create that emotional connection. Remember, I always say this: it's part emotional and part logical that makes people take action and purchase. Right? It's both mind and heart. Yeah. Okay. Now we're going to switch gears. Okay. Now that was just a little bit about you getting in front of the camera and why you should not worry about getting in front of the camera. Okay. You are perfect. You're brilliant. You're wonderful. Let's move on. Yeah. Let's talk about the technical, because I'm sure there are plenty of you that want to know about the technical and have had issues with the technical. Am I right? Curious about the technical, aren't you? Well, let's talk about it. Tech prep can be just as important as presentation prep. So, have you ever used Google Hangouts like I'm doing? If you guys ever used Google Hangouts, let me know. Put in the chat box if you've used Google Hangouts. Also, have you ever used YouTube Live? Do you know the difference between the two? Here's a subtle hint. There really is no difference. YouTube Live can use Google Hangouts much like I'm using it now. You see, Google Hangouts is a live stream software that streams into YouTube. And YouTube Live uses Google Hangouts, or they use other third-party streaming software that can be rolled into YouTube Live, okay? But I use Google Hangouts much like I'm doing right now into YouTube Live, and then I take the YouTube URL that we're streaming into and I put it into Easy Webinar, and that's how you're watching this event right now, right? So have you used Google Hangouts? Have you ever used YouTube Live? Go ahead and put it in the chat box. And if you have, if you ever have, yes, it sounds like you guys have. Yes, Dean says yes. Yes to Hangouts, not to Live yet, says Mark. Okay. Yes, no, Tim says, and Bob says yes. Okay, so, right. One of the biggest questions I get is, how do you avoid the delay in your events using Google Hangouts and YouTube Live? Have you ever had that question? Have you ever been concerned about that, worried about that, had that question? Have you ever stopped using Google Hangouts because of that fact, right? Right? That you're worried about the 30-second delay. Remember, you guys, we're on a 30-second delay right now. As soon as I ask a question, you guys are getting it 30 seconds after I ask it. You're not getting it right away. 30 seconds to a minute. But you can't tell, can you? And here's how to avoid it. Make sure you're taking notes. If you're someone who's serious about using this type of technology to make a difference and connect to your audience, you're going to want to take notes and understand how to do this stuff. Here's the secret to not having a delay. I always say that the best way to not show a delay is to not wait for a response. Wow, isn't that novel? That's pretty novel. So what it means essentially is that if I ask a question to you, I'm not going to wait 30 seconds to 1 minute before you have a response. Okay? That's not what I'm going to do. So I want you to start getting in the habit of doing that right now. If you are going to start live streaming yourself using this technology, just understand that you should never wait for the question to come back. In fact, I don't do that with GoToWebinar either, okay? Or other streaming software that has no delay, that has no delay in terms of the response and delay, right? Response of delay. I just go. And here's a cool way to think about it. Let me show you. So after every question you ask, have a response that elaborates on that question that you just asked. Okay? Now let me explain what this means. Okay? For instance, you show them a solution and then elaborate on why they should be excited. So here's the for instance. Hey guys, let's say I just showed you something that was incredible. Let's say I just showed you how to add an overlay in your YouTube videos that would click back to your website, and it's something you've never seen before. Okay, just let's imagine that's nothing. It's something you've never seen before. And then I say, how many of you guys are excited? Huh? Yes. Let me know. Are you excited? Is this something you've never seen? Let me know. Say yes, Casey. I've never seen this. I've never seen this. And then what I'm doing is I'm not going to wait for you to respond. What I'm going to do is come in and say, yes, this is the first time I'm showing this, you guys, and you guys are witnessing something that no one else has seen. You're seeing something that no one wants you to see. And congratulations for being the 1% of population who will take these strategies home, and it's really up to you how you use them. So by now, because I just filled in like 30 seconds with a response, now questions or responses will be coming in. Yes. No, wait for a response. Good advice. Thank you, Ed. Yes, I appreciate that. Yeah, exactly. You fill in. Let's go back to the one slide. Have a response that elaborates on the question you just asked. Okay? Remember that. That's the key. Have a response that elaborates on the questions that you just asked, because then their questions will now be coming in. And with building that next 30 seconds with excitement and energy, by now you should have comments coming through, what we just said. These comments will look like, yes, 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 Casey, I'm ready. Or super excited, yeah, glad I stayed up for this. And then you might have questions based on the thing you just revealed, right? So like if I'm just revealing something about like, and 1% of the population will take will take home these strategies. Most people don't do this. You know, if I elaborate even deeper with, you know, another strategy, they'll have a response to that. And now what you've done is it's almost like you've front-loaded your questions coming through. So other people then they might be saying stuff like, you know, John will say something like, does this system work with X, Y, and Z? And you can reply with something like, yes, John, it does. This system was designed to do this on hyperspeed to eliminate your fears, frustrations, and most importantly, your lack of time. And then you could say something like this, because now you have a lot of questions coming through. Now you can say something like, now there's a lot of questions coming through right now, but let's get some of these at the end, okay? You can keep asking your questions, and by the end I will get responses to you. Not to worry, each question becomes archived for you individually, so I will be answering your questions. And what you're doing here is now you're front-loading those questions that they have. And what you've also done is now you showed responses and engaged to the rest of the folks, and maybe you called out some people, like you're calling out names, like I did, with Ed and David and Mark and Bob and Tim and Dean and Seb and Ken, right? And now your audience is on their edge of their seats, and now they're paying attention. And no one is thinking, what the heck? Why is there a delay? Why aren't they thinking that? Because they don't see it. Because it's not even on their radar. We'll be answering you. It's not something they're seeing at all. Because you're doing your job. You're creating that buzz and interest and excitement after you ask a question. You're not waiting for the question. You're elaborating on the question. Make sense? Let's move on. Turn what you perceive as a weakness into a strength. Now, take this statement and take it as you will based on all of what we've talked about already. Okay? Everybody has an excuse for why they don't do X, Y, and Z. Take that strength, take that weakness that you perceive, and make it into a strength. And that's what I try to do. I try to take anything that I have failed on, and I push forward and learn from it. You know, like for instance, the mistake what I made for trying to become a bestseller. I made numerous mistakes. I removed categories. I added categories. I added a book that wasn't done. There were some mistakes in it. I had to re-edit it. All sorts of stuff. But I didn't stop because I was scared. I just kept going. And that's what I suggest you do. Just keep going. That's the best thing you can possibly do for yourself. So I actually like the delay. I don't rely on it, but embrace it. That's what I do now. Okay, we're going to switch gears again, and now we're going to talk about gear checklists for doing your live stream events, okay, from Google Hangout to YouTube Live. All right? So you might want to take notes, or if you're screenshotting this or things like that, just keep doing what you're doing. Okay? Okay. lighting, hardware, cameras, and audio. Now you may have seen this. I actually have shared this particular slide before, a presentation before, right? And so I'd like you to let me know if you have. If you haven't, that's fine. If you have, let me know. And let's push on. And I'll tell you what I personally use. I'm gonna give you kind of a page that I use, and you can kind of do a screenshot of it if you want, and just have that available. The very first thing I want to talk to you about when you're doing a live stream is your bandwidth, because your bandwidth is a very important factor that many people don't think about. It's your upload and your download speed. It's not only that, but it's also your processor. So I have what I'm using right now to do my live stream, which is a MacBook Pro. It's a newer MacBook Pro. Just got it probably in March, I think. Maybe March or April. I can't remember which. But it has a really, really good processor, okay? Anything with 2 gigs dual core processor or greater would probably be the best way to go. For bandwidth, you want 2 megs when you're streaming, okay? The upload speed has to be good. The download speed has to be good. What I tend to do is I go to my provider and I say I want the best upload speed and download speed possible. And then I use, I think it's called ping this or check my speed to check my upload and download speed when I'm doing this. Okay? All right. So your speed, the processor on your computer really is a huge factor. And if you have an older computer, you're not going to have much success with doing live stream, especially if you're putting yourself in front of the camera, which I'm not right now, which is a little different, right? I'm not doing it, and because of that, it doesn't matter. Okay. Do I need any other hardware for streaming other than my computer and going into the wall, let's say? Well, you could use something. I'm going to share what you could possibly use, but these are advanced things that you could do. Okay, if you don't have like a high quality computer, there are certain things you could do, but these things cost more money. So my suggestion is just go get a nicer computer because it's probably going to cost less. Okay, because I think your computer has enough power on its own. All right. Now, here's my simple setup when I do live stream. Okay, let's talk about cameras. I use the Logitech C920 with a widescreen lens for my camera. It's a $60, $70 camera. I'm going to come on to that more. I'm going to show you more of this. Okay. I also use my Snowball USB mic. That's what I'm using right now, talking directly into the mic. That's what I have. I also have my 2 Cowboy Studio lighting softboxes. So these are 2 softbox lights that are at 45-degree angle pointing at me. I then also use a second monitor to look directly into the camera and have my presentation directly under my camera for my questions. Now, all this together costs less than $350 for this, my simple studio setup, except the computer. The computer costs $3 grand, but you know, it is what it is. You can use that over and over again, right? And this is the quality that you get when you kind of use when I use my camera. Looks pretty decent, right? Here's another one. Now, this is interesting. Have you guys ever heard of eyeglasses? There's this app called Eyeglasses, and it will allow you to change some of the coloration of your video. It'll capture the same camera that you already have, but it will allow you to add overlays and various other things on it, almost like animation and filters, right? And so you can change your exposure settings, you can make your white balance a little whiter, things like that, and that's what this is a reflection of. Okay, so now the cameras that I mentioned was this, the Logitech C920 with widescreen lens, okay? It does full HD 1080p video. All right, it costs probably about $65 to $85. And it works with Mac or PC. Of course, you can use alternatives that stream. You can actually do streaming with your iPhone. I know you're not sure how, but you can. Trust me, you can actually do that. And you can actually do it with your DSLR. I've never done it because it takes a little bit of of setup to do it, but I have seen YouTube video tutorials all about how people have done it. So, you know, there's a lot of options available to you. I try to just go with simple, which is the Logitech C920. And here are some Canons and some Nikons that I would suggest if you are thinking about doing something with, you know, getting a DSLR camera. Because DSLR cameras, they are great. They have that cinema feel to them. They can really just give you that high quality without the cost, right? But I think that Logitech C920 looks really, really good when I'm doing my live stream. Okay? All right, audio. Let's talk audio for a second. The two that I really recommend is, you know, especially if you're going to do something like this and you want something simple, is grab a USB mic just like the Blue Yeti or the Blue Snowball mic. They both plug right into the computer and they have really good quality. Now, the deal is that there are higher quality mics, you know, podcaster mics and things like that you know really are really nice. And you could spend quite a bit of money on those. And if you ever want to increase your the production quality, maybe get a better microphone. But you don't necessarily ever need to get a better camera. The Logitech C920 is a perfect camera, but you may want to get a new microphone if you're struggling with a good quality sound. But the Snowball mic is great. It's about $60 to $90, and the Blue Yeti but has a little higher of a price tag. This is a microphone and a sound mixer that I sometimes use for my podcasting or my higher quality videos, where I mix the audio so it doesn't go directly into the computer like this one. See, this goes right into the computer. This microphone goes into this M audio, and then these XLR cords go right into, actually no, yeah, so this is where the mic plugs into, right here, this XLR cord, and then on the back, it has a Ethernet that goes right into your computer, okay, or a USB cord that goes right into your computer. So I use what's called the Perception 120 mic for that. But again, you don't need to use that. That might be a little higher and more professional grade than you need right now. Another thing is you could even do things like with Audio Technica. That's a wired lapel mic, and you could do live streaming with this Audio Technica just as well. It's a $20 microphone, and it can plug right into your iPhone. It can plug right into anything you need to where you can stream your event. Okay. So I tend not to use this when I'm doing my live stream. I'm at my computer and I use my microphone here. But guess what? You can do live streams on the go. And just imagine you're on your iPhone and you're doing a live stream on the go and you're using your wired lapel mic to capture the sound. Amazing stuff. You could definitely do that. iPhone for filming audio solution. Now, when you are doing something like that, when you're taking your lapel mic and putting it into your iPhone, generally speaking, you're going to need an adapter. And there's an adapter called the KV connection, and it's a 3.5 millimeter jack that goes right into your iPhone. So you take the Logitech lapel mic, okay, pop it into this hole here, and then this guy goes right into your iPhone, and now you have a wonderful sound going from your iPhone. I also tend to like this guy, the Rode condenser shotgun mic. This is a little more expensive, about $250, but it's high quality, and you get some really solid sound with it. You could even use it, say, as a microphone for interviewing. I kind of like to use that. So you could even do live interviews with it. Here's the highest quality, and I have a pair of these Sennheiser wireless mics. These are awesome microphones, and they cost a pretty penny, $600 to $700, but they are super high quality, and you don't have all the cumbersome issues that comes with having all those wires everywhere. Okay, Sennheiser mics. You can all look this up on Amazon, by the way. It's all on Amazon. All right, very quickly, let's talk about lighting. And as I already mentioned, the Cowboy Studio lighting. That's what I tend to use. Okay. Digital, it's called the Cowboy Studio. It's a 3 three-set light. So I have these two softboxes and an overhead softbox, right? Now I'll show you how I angle it. Here's the angle. So people have always asked, Casey, how do you get that lit white backdrop? Well, you need a backlight. That's the point. That's the whole thing. That's how you get that cool lit background. Apple does and things like that. So this is how I have my cameras right now. Boom and boom. I have a key light and fill light, 45 degrees on me, right? Fill light tends to be a little bit more, and then key light comes in, not so much, because this is kind of coming. Fill light is taking up more. It's kind of taking up more space. So you have one that's more angled, right closer to the camera than the other. Okay. Now the thing is, you could also use things like work lights. You could go and pay really inexpensive for some work lights and line them up as and do the backlighting with some work lights. That's always possible. There's so many different options here. Now, this is for people that really want to do some of the high-tech stuff. I'm just going to breeze through this because, again, as I said, it is higher. If you're doing a live stream, you want to do some really quality stuff, you can take some notes. I don't use this stuff. I don't know it all that much, but I did some research. I had an expert tell me some of the things that he was using, and that's what I'm going to share with you now. So you may have seen the Chrome box. This is built for Chrome, okay, Google Chrome. And if your computer doesn't work and work well with Google Hangouts, you could always use Chromebox. Chromebox, it's about $1,000, and it has an awesome processor, and it can do the streaming for you. Instead of using your computer, you could just use Chromebox, okay? Here's some other streaming options that you can use. Like a nice, really solid camera would be like the Canon Vixia M500. Okay, this is really nice, and for doing high quality camera work, live camera and live video you might want to use this, especially if you're going to do something like, maybe like 3 different cameras type of thing. This is around $500, $700. Now, to get it to work to stream through your computer, you can use a device that outputs the video via live stream, such as the Blackmagic Intensive. Okay? If you have a Mac, use the Blackmagic Intensity Shuttle. Sorry, Blackmagic Intensity, and the Blackmagic Intensity Shuttle with Thunderbolt. Okay? Not the USB 3, but the Thunderbolt. Okay? So, if you have Mac, use the Blackmagic Intensity Shuttle, and if you have a PC, use the Blackmagic Intensity, okay? Pro, right? You see that? All right. Okay, backdrops. So I tend to use no backdrops when I do a lot of my events, right? But a lot of people, they want to use backdrops, and that's where you can use what's known as muslin backdrops. And they're pretty much just the cloth backdrops. You can get the green screen, the white, and the black. And you can all get it in one package for very inexpensive on Amazon. I mean, you're talking about maybe $125 for all of this stuff together. Okay, so I would definitely look into that if you're thinking you want to, add something to the back. YouTube Live really works well with green screen, so you might want to consider that. And here's some quick tips for doing your live stream. Hardwire. Okay. Hardwire yourself directly from your cable modem to your computer when live streaming. Don't try it wireless. Don't ever try it wireless. I would not suggest it. If you could avoid it, I know if you're at a hotel and you're wanting to do a live stream, sometimes you just have to do it and you can just tell people what's going on. But sometimes if you're at your, if you can control it, hardwire. And you know what that means, right? That means taking your cable modem right into your computer. All right. I would also suggest turning off and restarting your computer before doing your live stream event if you have an older computer. And clear out all other applications when doing live streaming. Also, use a second monitor when live streaming so that you can see your audience's questions and where they are housed and where you are housing your live stream on the screen and your Google Hangout stream console on the other side, right? So you can have the questions that you're housing on your live stream on one screen and then your Google Hangout on the other, so you can just make sure it's looking good enough. right? Now, me personally right now, I'm using two screens. I'm using two screens right now. I'm actually using two different computers, but it's the same concept. Here's another quick tip. Have your camera angled downward on you. Not up your nose, but downward. Okay, it looks much better when you can kind of get everybody overall. The idea is just to make yourself look better, right? So consider putting your camera a little higher up. I tend to have my camera on my monitor that's just above me. Okay, that's what I tend to do. Also, you might want to clear out some clutter if you have like, you know, like 5 different coffee cups and, you know, you have like letters all over the place and things like that. You know, it's always best to kind of just get those things out of the way. Right? Yeah, okay. And I see some questions coming in, guys, and I see some responses, and great. And I'll come into that in a second here. The biggest part of this is to, of course, have fun when you're doing your live stream, all right? Have fun. That's the biggest factor in all of this. Okay, so let me quickly ask you, do you want to go deeper? Do you want to go deeper into this? Because here's the thing, I have the availability to go into showing my training program. I don't know if you guys know, but I have online broadcasts. I know some of you are probably already members of online broadcasts. Who here is a member of online broadcasts already? Go ahead and just put in the chat box if you are already a member of online broadcast. Because what I can do at some point here is I want to show you what we cover in online broadcast, because much of it covers these issues, these concerns, these things as it relates to the technical side of things, all right? Becoming a master broadcasting hero, okay, takes understanding the technology, all right? It takes understanding the technology. So again, as I said, who here is a part of my course already, online broadcast? Because I think we have some people on here. I think we have some people that are a part of online broadcast already. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to share my screen, and you can see how I put a YouTube URL inside EasyWebinar. Now, I want to just preface this and say this is not an advanced strategy. What we just covered in a lot of the previous slides are more advanced, because they're more advanced because they relate to strategy. Okay, they relate to how you talk to your audience. Okay. So yeah, so Pete's a member, and Sonia's a member. Great. So we have some members already on here. So I'm glad you guys are here. Who is not a member of online broadcast? Put that in the chat if you are not a member of online broadcast. Go ahead and put that in the chat below if you're not a member of online broadcast. Yeah, okay. Okay, because I'm going to reveal something in a minute here all about online broadcast, and literally probably 2 minutes you will see something all about online broadcast pop up below this video. Before we do that, though, I would like to do a very simple thing, share me, and then I'd like to go in and show you how exactly you do and take a YouTube URL and put it into EasyWebinar. Would that be something you are interested in just seeing, just kind of getting an idea about that? Yeah? Cool, cool, cool. All right, David doesn't have it. A few other people don't have it. Well, David, I think I'm giving it to you because you're a part of my launch stream. So, I believe. Well, although Sonia has it, so I don't think I rolled it in. I think I maybe had it for a fast action at one point, bonus. So let me quickly go and share my screen. Okay, so I'm going to close this out. I'm going to go and share me. Boom. Bam. Pow. How are you? How's it going? How's it going, everybody? Good to see you. Good to see everybody here. So we do have some people that are on online broadcast members already. great. If you're here, perfect. I really appreciate you being here. And for those who are not, I'm going to be offering online broadcast to you to be able to get into it at a massive discount, just so you're aware. And you may have seen, you might see now that online broadcast just opened up below that has some of those bonuses that I was mentioning. Okay. So before we do that, I would like to show how essentially you can use Easy Webinar and YouTube Live or Google Hangouts together. So I'm just going to do a really quick strategy, okay? And then we are going to move on from there. So very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click Edit. I'm going to go here and share my screen again. We're going to share desktop 1, start sharing screen. You should be able to see my desktop now. Everybody sees it, say yeah. Yeah, we see it, Casey? Let me know. All right, great. Now, while that's going on, I'm going to go into Safari, because Safari is where I have my YouTube channel. That's where I go in and everything is already set inside YouTube. So here we have YouTube, okay? Now, a lot of people have asked me, Casey, where do we start our Google Hangout? And a lot of people, what you guys tend to do is you go into Google Plus and start your Hangout. I don't want you to do that. I want you to go to YouTube and start your Hangout there. Okay, if you're going to do a Hangout, I want you to go into YouTube and do your Hangout there. So you're going to go into your Creator Studio. I'm assuming you all have a YouTube channel. Okay, everybody gets one. If you have a Gmail account, you have a YouTube account, and you have a G Plus account, and you can do Google Hangouts on air. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my Video Manager, and I'm going to go down here to where it says Live Events. Now, you may not have live events set up yet, but chances are you could at some point, all right? It's pretty simple to get it set up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on New Live Event. I'm going to title this How to Run a Mile in 4 Minutes, right? Hey, who wouldn't want to come to that? And then what I'm going to do is I could, at that point, go live now. Click on Go Live Now. And by clicking on Go Live Now, it's going to open up a Google Hangout on air. Okay? It's going to open up a Google Hangout on air. All right? Now, because of the fact that I am actually in a Hangout right now, it's not going to work for me. But here's the deal. If I go back to let me leave the page, and I go back to Live Events. This is the URL. You see up the top here? This is the URL right up here for the live event that we're doing right now. Okay? This is the URL. So all you have to do to make this work inside Easy Webinar is you grab the URL, you go into your event page, and you pop in the link for the live stream. So at the time of the live stream, you know, if your event starts at, let's say it starts at, let's say 5:30. At 5:30, or well, a little bit earlier than that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my Google Hangout on air through YouTube Live, and then I'm going to take the YouTube URL, because Google Hangouts will give you the URL, all right? They'll give you the URL right from where it says links. So let me actually pull this over so you can see it. Now you might see we're now seeing the matrix effect, but this is the YouTube URL for this Google Hangout right here. And all you do is once you create a Google Hangout, before you click broadcast, you're going to grab this URL, copy it, and put it into Easy Webinar. Right? You're going to go back over to Easy Webinar. Right? Let me get my cursor going. Here we are. You're going to go to the event page, and you're going to put the URL right here. Boom, boom. And then you're going to click Save. And of course, you can set up the timed events. You can set up the bonuses, the questions that you might have, etc., all built around it. So now, because this event starts at when? 4:30, 5:30? At 5, let's say 28 or 5:25, I then go back over here to my Google Hangout and I click this Start Broadcast. Okay? I click Start Broadcast to start broadcasting as soon as my time goes to 5:30, right? Does that make sense? So the people that are coming to the countdown page, which is right here, right? This countdown page, the people that are coming to this, which is you guys came to this before you came anywhere else, right? If I click on this, I'm not sure if it's going to, yeah, so, yeah, so this countdown page will count down before that time of 5:30, right? So here, I'll click Save and Publish. What the heck? I'll put that out there. And now, if I go in and grab the URL, click on it, it's going to count down 28 minutes before 5:30. So what I'm going to do, because now that video's in there, and if I were to go into no registration public event link, I can even see it in there. There it is, right there, right? So I know it's in there. At 28 minutes, that's when I'm gonna probably at 5:29, 5:28 is when I'm gonna click that Start Broadcast button, and I'm just gonna start. Go, go, go. That's what I'm going. That's what I'm doing. All right. So that's how we integrate with that. And a lot of people ask, can you do private events using this? And yes, absolutely. Because when you set up an event with YouTube Live, it actually you have the flexibility of setting that URL to unlisted, okay? So when you're in your back office, you can set up a live event, right? You have a new one, and this new live event can be unlisted. And when you create it unlisted, it won't show up in your YouTube feed or your Google Hangout feed, your Google Plus feed, anywhere else. That means it's unlisted, it means it's private. That means you can use it just like you use GoToWebinar, okay? Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so let me now get back to this. Let me again ask you guys, do you want to become a master broadcaster? For those who are not a part of online broadcasts right now, would you like to be a part of it? Well, let me talk to you about that. If you want to be a master broadcaster or master broadcasting hero and save the world with your message, well, let me introduce you to online broadcasts, okay? Online broadcasts, by the way, is a step-by-step video course and blueprint for leveraging Google Hangouts and YouTube Live, okay? Google Hangouts and YouTube Live. So I dig deep. I dig very deep and share with you all about how to use Google Hangouts and YouTube Live. First, we talk about creating your show, and I use this. We use the concept of a show. Okay. So first, we talk about creating your show, and then we talk about the presenter tools for your show. Okay, with me so far? We then go and share with you how to broadcast. Okay, we really break this down because some of you might still be kind of confused by how all this works. So we break down how you broadcast. Where does that Google Hangout go? And then I share with you how to broadcast on your own site. We also go into detail and show you how to use Google Hangouts and YouTube Live with Easy Webinar. Much of what I showed you now. There are maybe a couple different strategies that you can use, but much of what we just did just now is a way to use it. Okay, but you can go a little deeper with this. Okay, this training goes a little deeper. You not only learn about Google Hangouts, but you'll understand and learn about YouTube Live as well, and the various technology that you can use with YouTube Live. Okay, where you can use a few different cameras, and it's not just using Google Hangouts. And I think we even have a lot of you guys on here. Seb is actually someone who's in our course, and he just said He said, I just bought the online broadcast yesterday and browsed through it a bit. It's exactly what I was looking for. Thank you, Casey. Again, awesome content, excellent stuff. The reason I'm sharing this, everybody, is just because I never offer this discount that I'm offering right now, and that's why I'm mentioning it. Here is another person saying, you made it sound so simple, Chris. I look forward to simplicity. Life is way too complicated already. Onward. So Chris is also my partner who did part of this course with me. Chris Farrell, one of the best marketers, one of the nicest marketers online. You came at the right time. I've been wanting to do this type of marketing, and now you're there to hold my hand. I will look forward to being at the head of the pack. Thanks, guys. Right? So this might be the right time for you if you are someone who has been wanting to do this type of marketing and just haven't done it yet. Confused by it, a little scared by it, a little intimidated by it, frankly. Jane is somebody else who came in. Jeff is somebody else who came in. Anchor came in. My name is Anchor from Chapel Hill. This seems to be exactly what I was needing at the right time for my business model. Looking forward to learning and implementing. So again, there are a lot of people that understand that this live stream, the ability to live stream, the ability to connect with your audience is something that every business needs to know how to do. And once you really understand how to do this with these type of strategies, this type of software, you're going to have a much farther reach. And right now, you can access the online broadcast club. Okay, now you might be saying, what's that mean? What is that? Well, that is a training area that used to be a monthly cost. But right now, we have a one low price for the entire online broadcast course, including the club. And the club is continued training. Okay? So these are some of the things that you get inside the club, along with additional training that we also offer. We have $900 worth of bonuses and continued training inside the club membership, right? And all of this right now is a one-time payment where usually it costs $504 a year. But right now there is a one-time payment to come into this. So these are the bonuses that you get when you do purchase today. Bonus 1, you get Google Hangout iPhone. I teach you how to use the iPhone and stream a live Google Hangout on air with your iPhone. It's pretty cool stuff. You also get some of my YouTube Revealed. Okay, now these are my this is my YouTube training that I teach all about using the power of Google AdWords for video, how to title, describe, and tag your videos, various SEO stuff, various engagement things, all about YouTube. I also go into some detail about Google Plus as well, so now you can learn a little bit more about Google Plus, circles, etc., etc. And this is just a taste of what you get inside here. And you also get our other bonus by Steve Trister, How to Present. Steve Trister's How to Present. Master presentation so you can attract an audience of hungry buyers and convert them into customers. Okay, that's valued at about $297. And also, right now, here's something cool. Right now, on this event, you can get online broadcasts with a $200 discount. $200 discount by using this coupon code OBPromo1. Okay, OBPromo1. Once you come to the sales page, you come to the sales page, you then go to the shopping cart page. You would have an area on there where it says enter your coupon or promo code. That's where you're going to place OBPromo1, which will unlock a $200 discount for you. And here's the deal. Usually, online broadcast, and in the past, it has been a monthly payment, which totaled $504 a year. But here's the thing. In the last 2 months, we reduced it to $497 for a one-time payment. So we went from the yearly to $497. Okay, and that's what the software, that's what the program costs. And maybe you've been to the program before and you saw that the price was $497. But right now, on this event, you can get the entire course and the club members area along with the $900 bonuses for only $297, a one-time payment, when you use the coupon code OBPROMO1. And you do get a 30-day money-back guarantee with online broadcast. So if you're not completely satisfied, we will return your money stress-free. Okay? I want you to learn these strategies, but if you don't have the time commitment, you can't make it happen. It's over your head. Let us know. You get a 30-day money-back guarantee. So once you come into online broadcast, send us a Heidi Ho. Just go ahead and put that in the comment box under our welcome video. And again, as I said, use the coupon code OBPROMO1. Now, the way you can get this program is underneath. You see a button that says Get Access Now. If you clicked on that Get Access Now, it would bring you to the online broadcast sales page. And now, at this point, you would have to use the OBPROMO1 code on that page. Okay. Now you can also go to www.onlinebroadcasts.com. That's an S at the end. Okay, onlinebroadcasts.com to get access to online broadcast at a $200 discount, along with the bonuses and the accessibility into the club membership. So thank you very much, you guys, for your time today. And again, as I said, you can get the $200 off coupon, you get the bonuses, and you get the club membership, which has continued training. And that is www.onlinebroadcast.com. Okay? Now, I only put this offer there at this point because if I don't make an offer and I don't give people more of an opportunity to learn these strategies, you're probably never going to use it. You're never going to attempt to apply the strategies. So I know that this event was a pretty powerful event by itself with the information that was provided. But I wanted to also offer the opportunity to come into online broadcast where you could learn a bit more. You could go deeper. You could get step-by-step instruction, which will definitely help you out in understanding how to use this stuff. Okay? Not just me saying, guys, make sure that you stay very positive with your message. You're very clear. You keep the energy up. I could say that all day long, but the only way you're going to know how to do all that is to understand the technology, to understand how you can keep that flow going. So I would really recommend that that if you don't know how to do this stuff and you aren't in our program yet, you might want to get in there. Yeah? Yeah? Cool. Yep, Sonia's already in. Pete's already, I think Pete, you're in too, right? Yeah. Okay. Yes, okay, excellent. So, are there any other questions? I'm going to go through and check that because I have a lot of questions that were listed, and I will have to go in and look at your questions. Let's see. I'll have to look back here. Seb is a member of Online Broadcast, he says, and it's great. Thanks, Seb, so much. Ed Oakley, I don't think I'm a member. LOL. Right, Ed. I don't think you are a member, actually, Ed. I would have remembered you in there, buddy. Dean is not a member. Gotcha, Dean. Bob F, not a member of Online Broadcast. Okay, Bob. And as I said, we do have some people that are. Mark is not. Seb, of course, is. And Seb even says it again. He says, actually, Online Broadcast is exactly what I needed. Thanks, Seb. I really appreciate it, man. Bob F, are you someone who is in our program already? Maybe you are. Sandy says, how do you copy your Google Hangout webinar on to Easy Webinar after? Well, it's not about that. You don't have to do it after. That's the whole point of this, is that you have to really understand how this works. You have to understand the basics of how Google Hangouts stream, where it streams and how it streams, because once you understand it, it makes utter sense to you. Easy Webinar is not an app. Easy Webinar is a platform that can take your live stream and build a marketing platform around it. You could do live events and automated events, but it's not an app, okay? And as such, you need to understand how to use Google Hangouts and understand YouTube Live as well. And by doing that, you understand everything. Like you can use this for GoToWebinar. You can use this for live streaming a party. Live streaming you in front of your audience doing live shows. Live stream a webinar. Live stream a full day of multicasting. Live stream interviews. You could do all sorts of stuff. So let's see here. Okay. This David M. Rojas doesn't have online broadcast either. It does. I do have Easy Webinar though. So thanks for the extra tips. No problem, David. You are probably a candidate for online broadcast because of the fact that obviously you have Easy Webinar. If you understand how to use and roll in Google Hangouts and YouTube Live, then perfect. But if not, then you might want to consider taking the opportunity to come in at the $200 discount. And I'm glad that I have people on here that have already taken it, because then you guys can kind of hear what they're saying. So Seb is saying, thank you, Casey. Excellent event as always. Seb is already in online broadcast. Ed, you're having some issues with PayPal, you're saying? You're actually trying to join now but having issues with PayPal. Keep trying. Let me know. It should be a one-time payment with PayPal. There shouldn't be too much of an issue, but if there is a problem, then we'll solve it after the fact, okay? Just send me an email. Okay, Bob's saying he's working on it, tied up doing other things this minute. That's fine. This, just to let everybody know, this will, well, I paid but not sent anywhere and haven't received. Okay. Ed, I'll get you in there. Don't worry. We will get you in if it hasn't come through. Okay. All right. Bob is saying, I'm getting Easy Webinar soon first. Okay. Yes, Bob. It's probably best to have both Easy Webinar for the platform, and then obviously, as I said, the software or the training program, online broadcast, to really understand how to kind of use this stuff, the do-it-yourself or the DIY stuff. Now, some of you might want to take advantage of what we have in regards to our Producer's Corner. How many of you guys know about Easy Webinar's Producer's Corner? Producer's Corner is we do the work for you, so we'll set up your events for you, so you don't have to do it yourself. And that's really how you can really look good. If you don't learn to do these strategies yourself, using us, we can make sure that at the very least it's set up appropriately and ready to go. Okay, so that's something we could definitely do for you. And so for those who are coming in, thank you, Ed, so much for coming in. Just be aware that I will get you set up. If for some reason it's going through, I'll check to make sure it goes through, and you will get set up regardless. Okay, if it goes through or not, or as long as it goes through, you're all good. You'll be set up, buddy. So I'll check on those as well. Okay. Any other questions? I think we're getting to the end here. Any other questions? Maybe if you're someone who is interested to get this stuff, you're not, you want to maybe know a bit more about it. Let me know. I'm right here. Okay, just checking something right now. All right. Okay. Yep, any other questions? Go ahead and put it in. Oh, we have some. Okay. I'll talk to you, David, about whether you're getting that. Oh, good. Ed said he got everything. Okay, good, Ed. Okay, good. I was worried. You made me worried, buddy. David said, thank you, no problem, you guys. Thank you so much to you. I hope this was helpful, okay? Okay, I really hope this was helpful. A big factor that I just want you guys to consider is, how to the biggest problem that people face with live streaming is that they get worried about putting themselves on camera, and then they get like a deer in the headlights, and that's the last thing you want to do. What's the most important thing when doing an online event? That's right, setting expectations and building anticipation. Right. Okay, Pete, thanks so much, man. Got to go take the daughter to dance class. No problem, buddy. Pete, by the way, is saying, I'm really close to launching a series of interview-type webinars for my family real estate biz, all using Easy Webinar and the content I'm learning from online broadcasts and Easy Webinar training, focusing on first-time home buyers, financials. Great. Perfect. Perfect. If you want to talk more about that, buddy, just let me know. Send anything over, and I'd love to take a look at what you have when you have it. Okay? All right. Yes, Casey, you did a webinar with a woman a while back about web TV. What was that about? Oh, yeah, Bob. So Bob is asking about, because I did something all about web TV with Ann DeVere, and that presentation that I did, that was about Ann has a product called Turn Your Show into Cash. Now, this is a little bit different. This program is mostly about using the technology and being a broadcasting savant. Okay, this will teach you how to get really familiar with the technology. Her course goes into a little more detail. She also does, I think, coaching with it. But I created this. She created hers. At one point, we were rolling both of them together. Right? So if you got hers, part of you guys got mine too. Okay? But mine is more so just about the training, not so much. Hers doesn't cover YouTube Live training, and I really don't think it definitely doesn't cover Easy Webinar training as well. So that's kind of the biggest difference. Okay, cool. And if for those of you guys who just couldn't find, there are some people that said to me, "Hey Casey, I bought your book and downloaded the reading app, but also all is good, but I didn't find a link to your live stream webinar." So it looks like some people didn't get access. Not many people came to this event, even though they bought the book, and we did a decent amount of sales on the book, and I can see that the link is right here at the back. It did work. So anyway, I want to give props to all of you who did come to this event and did share time with me. You guys are much loved, much appreciated. I really respect your time, and I can't wait to work with some of you who do come into the program. And again, if you come into the program and have a difficulty getting in, just let me know, and we will make things work to sweet. Okay, we'll make it happen for you. So again, thanks very much. Maybe I'll share myself before I take off. Just give you a little Heidi ho and a warm goodbye, and then we'll be off. So so let me just go in and escape. Let me go now over to here. Okay. Again, thank you so much for your time, your energy, your the focus that you gave me today. I really appreciate it as usual. And have a wonderful, wonderful night. And I will talk to all of you very soon. If you are someone who is watching this on a different time, there will be a limited amount of time to get access to online broadcast for that discount, okay, for that discount that we offer. So thanks very much, everybody. Cheers, and have a fabulous, fabulous day. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks again. Bye-bye.